I want to ask you a question. If social media died tomorrow, meaning that Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the rest of it shut down tomorrow, how would you be? And how would your business be? On that note, who would you be? Who would you be? What kind of person would you be? What would change? Just pause this video and think about that for a little minute. What would be different? Like, you're not showing up every day. You've got no audience to speak to, right? Other than you can film things for your actual clients and give them to your actual clients. But outside of that, like, there's no audience for you to speak to. If that was the case, if it all shut down, what would be different? What would you work on? When you wake up in the morning and you're like, cool, gonna crush it today, what would that look like exactly? Would it look different? What would you be doing? Who would you be? Would you become a little bit of a different person? You know, you can't post anything that you're doing to anyone. What would be different for you? And what benefits would be there for you? What benefits? Would there be a lot of benefits? Would there be any level of freedom? Would you have more presence with your loved ones? Would you be more of this earth? Would you be more present to the earth? Would you be more present to those that you're around? Even if you have your phone turned off when you hang with people, but would you be more here if it all just disappeared? And another question I want you to ask yourself is, would your business survive if it all just disappeared? Would it still continue to grow rapidly if it all disappeared? Or would you become a no one and would it all turn to shit? I ask all of these questions because it has become very present for me that there are so many individuals using social media in a certain way and showing up for social media in a certain way because they believe that it will get them a certain result. So they are sacrificing high quality of life for social media to get a result that they think is only possible if they use social media. Now, here's the fucking interesting thing. Over the past 2 months, I've conducted somewhat of an experiment and I have done minimal to no social media at all. Minimal to no social media at all. I've been extremely distant from social media. I've deleted all of the apps on my phone and I've only installed them as I've needed to do something, then instantly uninstalled and gotten rid of it. I have directed 99% of my messages onto Telegram instead of social media, and I have really just not used it. And I can barely begin to describe how much of my own power, my own heart, and my own soul I have received back. It's absolutely fucking terrifying how much of myself I had lost and how much of my own power I had lost, and I hadn't even realized that I had lost it. It is terrifying how much connection I had lost with family, with friends, and also with clients. It is terrifying how much of that I had lost, and I hadn't even realized that I had been losing it until I disconnected, until I came off social media. It is absolutely terrifying how much of my identity has been was created through a continual feeling of needing to show up and needing to do stories and to remind people who I am and what I believe and how to do things and why I should be listened to or whatever the fuck else. is terrifying how much of that has happened. And I wasn't even aware of it on any level. And through this period off social media, the funniest thing about the whole fucking thing is that we tripled and almost quadrupled our sales during this time off social media. You heard that correct, right? We have done more in the business in the last couple of months than we have. I haven't measured it, but top of my head, we've done more in the last couple of months than we would have done in the last 9 months, for sure. We've added more value. We've created more services. We have created more connection. We have done so much more meaningful work since we have jumped off social media. And this is all an interesting observation. I'm not necessarily saying anything by it just yet. And I do have something to say about it, but even what I have to say about it isn't even that clear to me just yet. I'm not 100% sure on what this all means just yet. But what I do know that it means is that we are fundamentally, consistently lied to about how much we need this social media thing. And we are so deeply lied to about how we need to show up for our audience, what sort of content we need to create. It is disgusting. And it is such a lie at every damn level. Social media is heading in a terrible direction, in my perspective. Most social media platforms are heading in a terrible direction where we are fighting for a 3-second attention span, and we are fighting how quickly can we trigger an emotional response from somebody to keep them still viewing our stuff, to convince them that we're worth listening to. That's the game at the moment. If you haven't figured that out, that's the game, right? And I can show people how to win on social media, right? Do that. But what's the cost? And do you really align with doing that? Maybe social media is not a problem for you, and maybe for you, you're not stuck in the doom scroll, and maybe you're not even really consuming content. Because here's the other funny thing, like I don't follow anyone on social media other than clients I'm actively working with and a couple of family members, really, and I think I follow like 30 people. So I don't sit there scrolling on social media, but do you know what's disgusting is that I don't sit there consuming people's content on social media, but here I am producing content on social media thinking that that's something other people should consume, right? That's what I would do in the past. Produce short form videos or whatever it might be that trigger a response and all the rest of it. And you're playing the game that you so strongly disagree with. So for me, moving forward, I haven't figured out exactly what my relationship with social media is, but I'm 80% there. And the 80% that I am sure of is that I am done playing it in the way that the algorithm tells me to play it. And I'm done playing it from a place of necessity. That's the biggest thing. When you have any form of a belief that you have to do social media to grow your business, you're not going to play it authentically. You're just not. I know you might fucking think you are, but you're just not going to. Human beings don't work like that. If there's a necessity, if we see something as a necessity, we will do what is needed to have that need filled, right? And if you believe that your business is tied up in the success of social media, right? And your business provides you with certainty and stability financially, right? And at an identity level, then you will do what you need to do to fulfill that. You will do that. That is normal human behavior. You will have your needs of certainty met, yeah? And you'll do what is required to do that. So will I. We all will. That's human behavior. We all will do what is required to hit our need of certainty. So if you believe that your need of certainty can only be met when you play social media in a particular way, then you'll play that every fucking goddamn day until your need is met. But it's a lie. You don't need to. You do not need to. We have been building ships that allow people to exit the social media game. Over the last couple of months, like I said, we have thrived immensely over the last couple of months since we've been changing and being off social media even. And we have realized just how easy it actually is to build businesses off social media. In fact, more easier, absolutely easier to build things off social media when you do things right. And it is available for all of you. It's not because we already have an audience or anything like that. All of you can do this. And from that place, whether you choose to play social media or not, the difference is, do you think you need to? And if you play social media from a place of knowing that you don't fucking need it and that you don't need the algorithm to work in your favor, or you do not need the views and you do not need the engagement and you do not need the leads from social media, when you play it from that place, you fucking win. When you play it from that place, you're in the seat of power. And when you realize your own power within, now you are the creator of your life. You're the creator of your business again. You're back in the driver's seat instead of the seat of being a puppet. So for me moving forward, what I currently, and I give myself permission to change my beliefs around this, but what I currently feel really called to producing is longer form videos, which is actually the complete opposite to what the algorithm wants, right? But I feel really called to producing meaty conversations like this one and producing conversations of substance, of depth, of realness, of rawness, where I'm sitting down and simply having a conversation. And I feel called to produce that once or twice a week. I don't feel called to having to remind the world who I am every day or every minute of every day, or just confirm to the world that, yeah, see, I'm having fun. I'm going for a bike ride. I'm having fun. Yeah, maybe just go have the fucking fun. I don't feel called to have to always show people who I am and what I'm doing. If you want to know who I am and what I'm doing, you will find me. And that question will be answered. I don't need to shove it down your throat. I don't need to convince you. I know who I am and I know what I'm doing. And each and every moment that goes by where I simply be and don't tell people who I am, I find out who I am at a deeper and a deeper level. So there's a big shift and a big change coming for social media and the way that I'm going to be showing up. And I can promise you that this is the beginning of a big change on social media across the board. So if you want to build your ship, if you want to get your affairs in order and you want to start building ships where you can also not have to rely on the social media island anymore, and you're not having to be a slave to the matrix anymore, and you want all the beautiful benefits of presence, of depth, of connection, of really knowing yourself, and of really being in your own power, then the content that we're producing is probably going to be helpful for you. It won't be a short dopamine hit. It won't be in favor of what the algorithm wants. And I don't care if not as many people find it. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that because I have everything I need already and we can grow without it. So from here on, this is my declaration to speak truth and to do things my way and the way that feel deeply aligned to me, not the way that I have to or the way that I need to or the way that works. I've lived my whole life being as successful as I am by going against the grain. So it's time to keep doing that. See you on the next one.